Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about Pluto in Aquarius, but we have to go back in time to 2020. I want to show you something quite interesting, but the ultimate question that I want to answer today, or at least give you a hint what's going to happen in 2025, 26 and beyond, is why Pluto is going to be so powerful in Aquarius, even though it had a big punch when it was in Capricorn, but still, in Aquarius, Pluto is going to be quite strong, if not the strongest ever. And let's have a look at the chart that is actually behind my face. Just 1 second. I will become much smaller so you can clearly see the graph. And let's go and let's start talking about it. I have big pointers so you'll see it clearly on your screen what I am talking about. So look here, that was year 2020, 4 or 5 years ago, because I'm recording this video on the 2nd of January, early 2nd of January. What's the time? It's like 4 o'clock at night. Anyway, so here in Capricorn we have Sun, almost the same degrees, Mercury, Ceres, Saturn, Pluto. And this degree of Capricorn is extremely important for both Pluto and Saturn, because planetary nodes of these two planets actually are in the same place. They move much slower than the nodes of the lunar nodes that we would analyze in the horoscopes, but we do have planetary nodes as well. And let me show you what, where and how. So Pluto as such has quite an eccentric orbit comparing to other planets. So the difference between the distance between the Sun is quite dramatic, because most of the planets would have circular orbits, and Pluto's orbit is a bit stretched. So when in perihelion position, Pluto would be closer to the Sun than Neptune, and on the other side of the Sun, Pluto would be much farther away. But the thing is that the orbit of Pluto is not perpendicular to the rest of the planets. It is eccentric. I think it's 122 degrees, so that would be like 15-20 degrees. And these nodes are very important, as are the lunar nodes. Let's have a look at the distance table, and that's from skylife.com. I will get you the links so you can have a look at these graphs yourself. So this is the graph of the distance of Pluto from the Earth. So in the year 1990, Pluto was closest to the Earth and Sun in the same time, and in the year something like 2100, the distance is going to be the greatest. So let's have a look at a bit better graph. So this is 1990s, full of the Berlin Wall, full of the communism all over the world, apart from few countries, and in general, big changes everywhere. And on the other side, when Pluto is going to be here in 2100, something like that. So this part of the ellipse that Pluto is traveling takes only 87 years to get from one node to another, and it takes 161 years to do the other side of the loop. But the most important part of all is that Pluto, that's in Roman mythology the name of the god of the underworld, is Hades in the Greek mythology. There is this film called Clash of the Titans, where they pictured most of the popular gods like Zeus, Ares, and Pluto, of course. And I will show you a couple of pictures from this very film to explain you the importance of especially Pluto nodes. Saturn, each and every planet has a bit of extinct C3 there. The orbit is a bit tilted. Yes, but tiny bit. Pluto orbit is tilted quite significantly, so you can clearly see the difference. And the thing is that these 2 points are extremely expressive, important, as well as the Pluto nodes that would be cutting the plane of the rest of the planets. And let me show you the pictures that I got for you. So this is the first picture from this film, Clash of the Titans, where Pluto enters the Council of the Gods, where you have Neptune. Neptune is here, yeah. Zeus is, oh, maybe that's Zeus. We have Neptune, Ares, and all of the other gods, Greek gods that I have forgotten now at the moment. Anyway, so he's very weak because he's coming back from the underworld. What is happening is this moment when he gets to the table with the gods. He gets out from the underworld and he's very weak. He has no power because, as he explains in this scene, no, that's the next scene I want to show you. In this scene, he just explains that human people on the planet Earth are not praying as much as they used to, and that's why they don't believe in gods anymore. They are taking down the temples, and gods are not happy because they are being fueled by the power of prayer and love of earthly beings. And I hope that you'll watch the film, or you will, or you have already watched the film. In the next scene, that's almost at the end of the film, Pluto is at his full might, because, as he explained to his brother Zeus, what happened is that he was thrown into the underworld and forced to feed on people's anger, fear. Fear is the biggest sort of energy supply for him, unlike the other gods that are being filled by love and prayers of regular people. So at this stage, Kraken has been released, and all of the fear of the earthly beings are feeding Pluto, Hades. So he's at his full might, while Zeus is not getting any prayers, so became weak. And at that stage, Hades wants to take over simply everything he can to become the ultimate god. So this is the Kraken. People got scared. Oh, big monster, big monster. And Pluto is being fed. I'm showing you these pictures again to explain it on the graph. So this is the moment when Pluto gets on the table with gods. Through this period, Pluto is being fed by the misery of earthly beings, people, us, like me and you. And at its peak, you can imagine how big, I don't know how each and every one of you, how old are you, yeah? But I assume that some of you remember the period of the uncertainty and changes that Pluto brought during the fall of communism. So lots of people were uncertain of what's gonna happen. So this is the moment where Hades, Pluto, is being fed by the people, by general public. So throughout the ascension, here Pluto starts to talk exactly the same as the rest of the gods. So Pluto is communicating with the gods. He's at the table with all of the other rulers, finally, because he's an outcast. No one likes Pluto, no one likes Hades. So as soon as he gets on the table, his game starts. He gains momentum and energy here. So when he's on the other side of the planetary circles, he's full of power and energy. And his last job, because before diving into the underworld, was Endemic 69. Yes, you know what happened. So at that peak moment, that was the last injection, last fuel for Pluto. So technically speaking, Pluto should be not strongest here, but here. And I think that this graph is not showing the date correctly. It should be 2020, 21 degrees of Capricorn, where Pluto is exactly at Pluto's orbit node, on the south node of the diving node. So at this stage, Pluto is most powerful ever. And let's say till here, he still sits at the table with the other gods, discussing what should be done and how it should be done. And Pluto as a planet has this tendency to give not certain answers till the very last moment, till the last transit that happens. So let's say that Pluto passes 3 or 5 times another planet in your horoscope. Technically speaking, you will get the final answer just when Pluto finishes his last cycle. So, in my less than humble opinion, what's gonna happen with Pluto in Aquarius, because Pluto has just started diving into the underworld for next 161 years. My grandmother, for example, she managed to live from one Pluto node to another. She was 91 when she died, so she managed to have opposition of Plutos in her horoscope, and that's quite unusual, because even most of the books that were written here or here, they didn't have examples of people living so long that they actually had transiting Pluto opposing the natal Pluto in the horoscope. So that's why, in my opinion, Pluto is still full of power and is gonna do amazing job, as Pluto always does, destroys and rebuilds better, faster, cheaper. This is the job of the ruler of the underworld, yeah? And let's have a look at another graph that shows the distance of Pluto from the Earth. So as I said before, 1990s, that was the closest proximity of Pluto, and around 2100, that's gonna be the largest distance. If some of you are wondering why do we have this wavy pattern here, this is the yearly move of the Earth, because when Earth goes around the Sun, this distance alternates, because Pluto moves so slow that this one astronomical unit is the difference. This is the graph, this is the wave pattern on the screen that is happening. So more or less, this short story tells me and you that the might of Pluto is not over yet. And that's why, as Pluto brought us the American Revolution, French Revolution, and most importantly, Industrial Revolution, that's other planets as well, yeah? But I would expect the same period full of changes ahead of us, starting in 2020 in reality, not in 2025, as most would say, because Pluto had to grasp this energy from fear, pain, and death. So right now, just before departing from the table with other gods, this energy is going to be used in a destructive and rebuilding manner, and as Pluto is in Aquarius right now, so a sign that is ruled by Uranus, god of chaos, uncertainty, brilliance, genius, energy, electricity. We are going to observe changes in the deepest possible changes in the realm of Uranus. So new technologies are going to be so spectacular that most of us will not follow them. And I think that there's going to be lots of uncertainty of what people are going to do next, because this is the first time in human history that really 99% of the jobs probably can be substituted by machines somewhere, somehow, or another how. So this is very interesting period of time, and I'm gonna shoot very many videos probably regarding of what's gonna happen in the near future, and it is going to be exciting and interesting to observe the changes that are going to happen in the world soon. So that's it for today. See you next time, and keep it real. Bye bye.